Reverend Crystal Cox here, bringing back God is Church. We're reading out of the Awakener. The Gmail is bbgodischurch@gmail.com to donate to our church. We are on page 128 of the Awakener. This is called Note for the Awakening Team, a part of the overall Earth Mission team. This section has been written for a particular group of starseeds to assure them that they are not alone and that others share the reality of their experiences. The following text will probably only be significant to the team who have agreed to these particular undertakings. Even though the other teams are experiencing great spiritual phenomena and going through a huge amount of testing and clearing, they are approaching their multidimensionality in a more galactic... They are approaching their multidimensionality in a more graceful and loving way. For some reason that cracks me up. Than the Awakening team. So we're not experiencing it gracefully. Yeah, you know I like the F word. Okay. You can almost hear their groans of disbelief because it may be full of trauma and not feel very graceful. It is essential that a more graceful clearing approach is used by the majority of the light force, for they are bringing into creation a gentle route, like a map, to allow all humanity to make its ascension. It is a delicate operation to manifest this blueprint, which involves creating a pattern using gentle, steady, consecutive steps that form a broad path of light right across the world. These steps will lead humanity to its new evolutionary goal. Each mission team has its own function to carry out, all equally important to the overall mission plan. The Awakening team agreed to assist with certain programs. Although some other teams may have participated in some of the following happenings, most other teams will generally find that they were not involved in most of these functions. The majority of this team agreed to be awakened and in place across the world in 1990, some earlier. For many, that awakened occurred in October of 1990. The awakening referred to is a remembering of their mission. I turned 20 then, just in case you wanted to know. I know you're dying to know how old I was in 1990. Cheers, here's to you. Okay. The awakening referred to is a remembering of the mission here, not a spiritual awakening, which usually occurred much earlier. Anyone in that team who was not already fully enlightened, with all their lower bodies cleared, needed to go through a major cleansing and awakening procedure. This applied to many of the team, and would take the next 30 frickin' years. Hence I'm 50 now. Members of the awakening team will have had many different experiences. You think? This will depend on the stage of clearing and initiation they had reached before their awakening, as well as specific agreements made by them and their I Am presence. The I Am presences joined with them to get these tasks done and to lead them into the initiations that would take them to a point of regaining mastership. Whilst most did experience interference from the astral plane, by far the majority of this period was involved with a higher dimensional activity. The state of being you were operating at did not usually involve much seeing, but used levels of knowing and pure mathematics. This awakening team generally found themselves thrown in at the deep end, in preparation for their tasks, with a series of procedures that all happened in the same period of time of weeks, months, or years. Their awakening was often sudden and very dramatic, with the merging of the higher self, other aspects of self, and the I Am presence, with a major cleansing and balancing of all lower bodies taking place. This involved coping with being thrown suddenly into a multidimensional world, consciously operating through many dimensions at once. Use pure light energy without a need for food or sleep. One entered the magical world of knowing and precision, higher mathematics. This was intricately intertwined with battles across galaxies and even universes, enduring more pain in all four lower bodies than you thought was available in the entire universe. A traumatic 24-hour-a-day sequence of attacking entities and having everything in the emotional, mental, and lower spiritual bodies hauled to the surface and blasted to shreds around the universe. Wow! That sounds really totally tubular. Yeah, I'm a 90s kid. I'm not a 90s kid. I'm a 70s kid. I'm still a kid. Okay, as well as this, at the same time, a series of initiations and major testings took place, requiring great endurance and an incredible dedication and focus of light. In the process of making a positive connection with the ascended light realms, one inevitably ran into the false hierarchy of the Dark Lords, usually without realizing it, and ended up running the gauntlet of the imposter turquoise ray with its major confusions, misinformation, and its attempt to keep you immersed in the color turquoise. In The Winds of Truth, channeled by Saint Germain in 1996, he said, "Beware the blue-green ray, a sub-ray annexed by the Dark Lords." This isn't meant to imply you can't wear this color. However, if you feel encouraged to wear a lot of this color or surround yourself with it, it may be to check exactly where the feeling or instruction is coming from. If it has been channeled, you will probably have received an extremely plausible reason as to why this is a good idea. Strictly applying the universal challenge should sort out the source. Although many twin flames are not incarnated now, it is possible that during this time you may have come into contact with your twin flame in physical form for a very short period. This occasionally ended with the death of the twin. Understand, that wasn't funny. Understand that any loss of the twin flame was pre-planned, and that the terrible pain and loss that followed enabled you to clear the emotional body of all the traumatic experiences of this and previous incarnations. This traumatic time, wrought with intense grief of great magnitude, brought even further trauma in the realization that you could not release your cries of pain into the universe without causing damage. Many quickly learned how to safely discharge this racking pain. Racking pain. Through silent utterance and by using mathematics to strategically distribute the energy in safe quantities. Anyone who feels they may have caused harm prior to releasing the correct procedure he used, don't worry. The energies were absorbed and transmuted by others into a positive energy form. For those who experienced this entire scenario, they know it can never be described to others. This powerful, incredible, life-shattering, amazing experience, often going on for months or years, when unbelievable events occurred at the speed of light. During that period of multidimensional preparation, you operated through the grace of God in a state of knowing, acting in a total integrity with God-given powers, absorbing your light body, moving into and becoming the exquisite fineness of the vibrations of pure light and experiencing creation from pure thought. I felt that purity at night, living in a vehicle. The darkness and the quiet and the water and the sky and the wind, and you can hear the different birds, and there is a magic and an intimacy and a touching God, touching nirvana moment that you feel, and it really is unexplainable, though I'm trying, but you'll know it when you feel it. Like that. You may have been involved with the following experiences. You may also have been a part of other encounters that are not mentioned here. Many things can't be brought from conceptual form into language. Some things may still be confidential, and so many thousands of things occurred so fast that they can't all be recalled. Communicating with and correcting programs of the main Atlantean crystal under the ocean using your I am specific aura combination of color with intricate gold and silver patterning for protection. Perceiving all the silver and golden cords, preparing the grid system of Earth, using mathematics and the microcosm to represent the macrocosm, mathematically programming a smaller space in order to handle a larger area. Using current locations such as room and house as borders for mathematical programming, handling the crystals and beings in the denser parts of the inner earth, both merging and separating with other aspects of yourself, communicating to the rest of the team through a special, prearranged frequency, either being teleported or apparently teleported to other locations on Earth. Absolutely incredible. Being in the dimension of instant creation, requiring every thought to be 100% positive. Not a lot of choice. Collapsing perimeters of outer universes in preparation for the new 13th dimension, holding the breath of the universe. Releasing from an etheric level, yours, your twins, or other team members' deeply buried past life traumas, bringing old Atlantean programs into the present, using your ancient, huge Atlantean body. The difficult procedure of understanding and locating the relevant programs needed when required to cover other members' tasks, assisting people to the holiday camp on Orion, moving back and forward in time using precise timing and time tunnels, hitting time and space warps. This is pretty cool stuff. Relocating disruptive entities to the Holden Galaxy 634 for release when Earth is in her new dimension. Locating Pythagoras for mathematical assistance. Establishing your identity by recalling, locating, and retrieving a secret object hidden in Atlantis. Remembering hidden locations for key information and power wording. Use the doorways in and out of the universe, assisting others during battles to get back into their bodies, using the standard Earth program procedure for entry through the crown chakra. Perceiving the mathematical timing required to enter this galaxy, giving the space fleet orders and utilizing their computer system, mathematically setting the pressures of the new combined physical light body, handling the bombardment of red synthetic crystals, learning to use a gold shield for protection, hearing the voice across the universe, and the wonderful divine announcement of the Golden Age. Being asked to choose between your twin or the Earth. A test. Being required, part of the initiation, to return home to the higher, finer dimensions of light and come back to the Earth again. Surely making that decision to return showed the greatest commitment and was one of the very hardest tasks. And then the hours of days of hard work to decrease your size and ground it into your Earth-sized body again. Then, another unbelievable event took place. After all this testing, without you realizing you were being tested, if only you had known, blah, blah, blah. After having fought your battles alone, having become hoarse from yelling for help and swearing, I think there was a camera in my vehicle, and finally giving up on ever getting any help from the higher realms. Yep. Suddenly, when it is all over, you realize that now you are getting help. Thank the Lord above. This becomes evident after a while, as looking back you realize that there is no way you could have put the pieces of yourself back together alone. Not unless you'd been able to retreat somewhere into absolute peace for some time, like a lifetime or two. Well, I did it for 5 years, and I had someone who counseled me 24 hours a day, pretty much, in spirit and spiritual information, and yeah. Anyway, we're going to stop there for now on page 132 of The Awakener. Goddess bless you.